Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvajagacharya Ashtara Sata Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Go Prabhupada. No book. Oh, no need, Prabhu. So, reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, second canto, chapter number 7, text number 19. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Tubhyam cha narada brisham bhagavan vivriddha. Tubhyam cha narada brisham bhagavan vivriddha. Bhavena sadhu paritushta uvacha yogam. Bhavena sadhu paritushta uvacha yogam. Jnanam cha bhagavatam atma sattvata dīpam. Yadvasudeva sharana vidur anjaseva. Tubhyam cha narada brisham bhagavan vivriddha. Bhavena sadhu paritushta uvacha yogam. Jnanam cha bhagavatam atma sattvata dīpam. Yadvasudeva sharana vidur anjaseva. Tubhyam cha narada brisham bhagavan vivriddha. Bhavena sadhu paritushta uvacha yogam. Jnanam cha bhagavatam seva. Tubhyam cha narada brisham bhagavan vivriddha. Bhavena sadhu paritushta uvacha yogam. Yanam cha bhagavatam atma sattvata dīpam. Yadvasudeva sharana viduragya seva. Tubhyam cha narada brisham bhagavan vivriddha Bhavena sadhu paritushta uvacha yogam Jnanam cha bhagavatam atma sattvata deepam Yad Vasudeva Sharana Viduranjaseva. Matajis? Okay. Tubhyam, unto you. Cha, also. Narada, O Narada. Brisham, very nicely. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Vriddha, developed. Bhavana, by transcendental love. Sadhu, your goodness. Paritushtaha, being satisfied. Uvacha, described. Yogam, service. Jnanam, knowledge. Cha, also. Bhagavatam, the science of God and His devotional service. Atma, the self. Satattva, with all details. Deepam, just like the light in the darkness. Yat, that which. Vasudeva Sharanaha, those who are so surrendered unto the Lord Vasudeva. Viduhu, know them. Anjasa, perfectly well. Eva, as it is. Translation and commentaries by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. O Narada, you were taught about the science of God and His transcendental service by the personality of Godhead in His incarnation of Hamsa Avatara. He was very much pleased with you due to your intense proportion of devotional service. He also explained unto you lucidly the full science of devotional service, which is especially understandable by persons who are so surrendered unto the Lord Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. Purport. The devotee and devotional service are two correlative terms. Unless one is inclined to be a devotee of the Lord, he cannot enter into the intricacies of devotional service. Lord Shri Krishna wanted to explain the Bhagavad Gita, which is the science of devotional service, unto Sri Arjuna, because Arjuna was not only his friend, but a great devotee as well. The whole process is that all living entities, being constitutionally parts and parcel of the Supreme Living Being, the Absolute Personality of Godhead, have proportionately minute independence of action also. So the preliminary qualification for entering into the devotional service of the Lord is that one becomes a willing cooperator, and as such, one should voluntarily cooperate with persons who are already engaged in the transcendental devotional service of the Lord. By cooperating with such persons, the prospective candidate will gradually learn the techniques of devotional service, and with the progress of such learning, one becomes proportionately free from the contamination of material association. Such a purificatory process will establish the prospective candidate in firm faith and gradually elevate him to the stage of transcendental taste for such devotional service. Thus he acquires a genuine attachment for the devotional service of the Lord, and his conviction carries him
onto the point of ecstasy just prior to the stage of transcendental love. Such knowledge of devotional service may be divided into two sections, namely preliminary knowledge of the nature of devotional service and the secondary knowledge of its execution. Bhagavatam is in relation with the personality of Godhead, his beauty, fame, opulence, dignity, attraction, and transcendental qualities which attract one towards him for exchanges of love and affection. So there is a natural affinity of the living entity for the loving service of the Lord. This affinity becomes artificially covered by the influence of material association, and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam helps one very genuinely remove that artificial covering. Therefore, it is particularly mentioned herein that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam acts like a lamp of transcendental knowledge. These two sections of transcendental knowledge in devotional service become revealed to a person who is so surrendered unto Vyasadeva, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita 7:19. Such a great soul fully surrendered unto the lotus feet of Vyasadeva is very, very rare. Tubhyam cha narada vrisham bhagavan vivridda bhavena sadhu paritushta uvacha yogam jnanam cha bhagavatam atma sattvata dipam yad vasudeva sharana vidur anjaseva. Translation. O Narada, you were taught about the science of God and his transcendental loving service by the personality of Godhead in his incarnation of Hamsa Avatara. He was very much pleased with you due to your intense proportion of devotional service. He also explained unto you lucidly the full science of devotional service, which is especially understandable by persons who are so surrendered unto Lord Vyasadeva, the personality of Godhead. Om Agyanti Mirandasya Gnanjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti-Vikas-Swami Namina Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namina Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadhadar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here Prabhupada is describing in the shlokas that devotee and devotional service are two correlative terms. So means that without devotee, the devotee and devotional service should be of course, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, and devotional service should lead us actually to development of pure love of the Lord, pure devotional service. So here is described that such a knowledge of devotional service may be divided in two sections, namely preliminary knowledge of the nature of devotional service and the secondary knowledge. So basically, devotional service means loving exchanges between devotee and the Lord. So all Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam actually describes the loving exchanges between devotees and the Lord, and teaching us actually how we can develop actually this pure love of the Lord. So it is Srila Prabhupada said that if everyone who's studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from the very beginning, from first canto up to 10th canto, if he is studying actually Bhagavatam with proper attention and proper attitude, actually he should become a lover of God. He should. So therefore, there is a natural affinity actually of the living entity for the loving service of the Lord. There is a natural affection, but because actually we are in this material nature, so we are covered. We are covered. Therefore, although holy name of the Lord, although Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is very sweet, but for us it's very bitter. For us, it's very bitter. So this is our position actually, that actually Prabhupada said that we are in hospital. So we have jaundice. So therefore Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and the holy name actually is a medicine for our disease. So actually Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it's not only a book. Actually Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is for our life. It's not that we are studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam on the class, and then when we will go out, then we will do whatever we like. We can see that Srila Prabhupada, he was like a walking Bhagavatam, because wherever he was, whether in the temple, he was speaking Bhagavatam. Whether he was outside meeting guests, he was speaking Bhagavatam. Whether he was on the morning walk, he was speaking Bhagavatam. So this is, here it's written that actually Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam helps one very genuinely remove that artificial covering. Like I remember once Srila Prabhupada ordered one of his female disciple to chant the holy name. To increase actually her rounds from 16 to 64. So it took for her actually many years to come to this stage when she started to chanting 64 rounds. So means chanting to 64 rounds, you know, how many hours it will take daily. Like, I mean, if you are chanting like normal pace, it's like minimum, I mean, it's 8 hours. So 8 hours actually to spend with holy name, because holy name is not different from Krishna. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is not different from Krishna. So 8 hours actually to spend with holy name. So it's, I mean, you would have to do really something wrong to not develop some relationship with the holy name, the relationship with Krishna. So, to spend with someone so many hours daily, actually, this is our self-interest. We are finishing our 16 rounds. We are in such a position, actually, pitiable position, that we don't have the taste, actually, for chanting the holy name of the Lord. I mean, because this living in this world, it's not. To practicing Krishna consciousness in this world, it's not an easy thing, because 90% of the Vedas, it's karmakanda. Then 8% of the Vedas, it's upasana kanda. And only, so means already 98% of the Vedas, karma kanda, some ritualistic activities. Upasana kanda is meant for sannyasis, and karma kanda, upasana kanda, and jnana kanda and upasana kanda means devotional service. So only 2% of the Vedas speaks about devotional service. 2% of the Vedas. Why? Because actually we came to this material world actually to forget Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai Sudarshan Chakra ki jai. So we came actually to this material world to forget Krishna. But somehow, by some fortune, actually, we came in the association of devotees and we become attracted. So therefore, actually, the qualification to enter into relationship with Krishna actually is not material. Because we see that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam speaks about relationship with Krishna, how to develop our forgotten relationship with Krishna. The holy name, we are chanting to revive our forgotten relationship with Krishna. Yes, everything what we are doing to revive our relationship with the Lord, our loving relationship. So therefore, the qualification to enter actually in relationship to Krishna is not material. Like in the material world, in the relationship with someone, in a relationship with someone, actually you should have some qualification. Yes, without to get some attraction or affection, you should have some qualification. Like wife will expect that a husband will earn some money, buy some house, maintain her. Or boss will expect that we are working very hard in office. Some friends will also expect some sense gratification from you. Otherwise, they will not like to associate with you, and so on. So this is the materialistic in materialistic actually relationship. That these materialistic relationships are very much complicated. Yes, like you will ask, oh, how is your relationship with your wife? Then someone will tell, oh, it's very complicated. But actually, to get, so what is the qualification for us that Krishna will love us? What is the qualification for us that Krishna will love us? And what we have to do? Basically, just exist. Just exist. Can you, Prabhu, open the one shloka 10, 14, 8. So I will read the shloka. Tattenukampam susamikṣamano bhunjana evatmakritam vipahakam Hridvagva purbi vidadham namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadayabhak. Can you read, Prabhu, the translation?
Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim.
So then, translation. Translation. Purpose, sorry.
Srila Sridhar Swami explains in his commentary that just as a legitimate son has to simply remain alive to gain an inheritance from his father, one who simply remains alive in Krishna consciousness, following the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, automatically becomes eligible to receive the mercy of the personality of Godhead. In other words, he will be promoted to the kingdom of God. The bird, Susamik Shamarna,
For now, it's okay. So we can see that actually, but now for us actually to love Krishna, we have to do something. We have to do something. We have to. We have to exist. Every one of us actually exists. But for Krishna, for us to love Krishna, we have to do some activities, some devotional service. We have to do some endeavor. Yeah. So without endeavor, if we will not do any endeavor to develop our bhakti, our devotional service, then we will be just overcome by material desires and so on. But we can see that for Krishna to love us, we have to just exist. Like here it's written that just as a legitimate son has to simply remain alive to gain an inheritance from the father, one who simply remains alive in Krishna consciousness, following the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, automatically become eligible to receive the mercy of the personality of Godhead. But if this is really actually so easy, because we can see here that one who become alive in Krishna consciousness following the regulative principles actually of Bhakti Yoga. So means we have to do something, we have to follow some principles, like, for example, like no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. And there is so many obstacles actually in our devotional service. So can you open, Prabhu, this one shloka from first canto 1, 8, 26. So this is the Kunti Maharani is praying actually. Janmeshwarya Shruta Shribir Edatmanam Madah Puman Nevar Hatya Bidatum Vei Fam Akinchana Gocharam. The Kunti Maharani is praying that, my Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. So materially exhausted does not mean, that you went for morning running, and then, you were running 20 miles, and then someone will ask you to do some service, and you will tell, oh, Prabhu, I am so tired, I'm completely exhausted because I was running, 20 miles today morning. Not materially exhausted means that we are completely frustrated with this material world. That this is mainly, it's It's about that we are mentally exhausted. We are already exhausted because we are trying to enjoy this material world from immemorial time. We're trying to enjoy our senses. We're trying to enjoy our family members. We're trying to enjoy our wealth. I mean, so many things we are enjoying, but we are just frustrated that nothing is giving us happiness. That we don't have any hope that we can get some happiness, extract some happiness from this material world. Because the point is that if we still have some thoughts in our mind, then we can get some happiness from this material world. It's very difficult to wholeheartedly accept devotional service. It's very difficult to wholeheartedly serve Krishna feelingly. It's difficult feelingly to serve Krishna. It's difficult feelingly to chant the holy name. If we want to still enjoy actually this material world, if we still think that there is some happiness in this material world. Like here, Kunti Maharani is saying that one who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, or great opulence, or high education, or bodily beauty, they cannot approach you with sincere feelings. Actually, this all to become a rich, to be well educated, to be very beautiful, and what was that? A good parentage means aristocratic family. This is the obstacles actually on devotional service. Because this is like intoxication actually. For intoxication, we're intoxicated. If someone is very beautiful, how many hours he will spend, in front of the mirror, some girls or boys, how many hours they will spend just, in front of the mirror and just making themselves more and more actually in this bodily conception of life. One who is well educated, so he become very puffed up because he has so much knowledge about this and about that, and it's very difficult for him to take up devotional service and chant the holy name of the Lord. One who is very wealthy, so he will not come to the temple. He will travel all over the world and try to spend this money for sense gratification. And one who has aristocratic family, he also become very proud, that his father is, the president of the nation or this or that. It's very difficult to take up devotional service. So being materially advanced means taking birth in aristocratic family and possessing grand wealth and education and attractive personal beauty. So all materialistic men are mad after possessing all these material opulences. And this is known as the advancement of material civilization. So, but the result is that by possessing all these material assets, one becomes artificially puffed up, intoxicated by such temporary possessions. Consequently, such materially puffed up persons are incapable of uttering the holy name of the Lord by addressing him feelingly, O Govinda, O Krishna. So it is said in the Shastras that by once uttering the holy name of the Lord, the sinner gets rid of a quantity of sins that he is unable to commit. But such is the power of the holy name. And actually there is no any exaggeration to this, Srila Prabhupada is saying. But actually, holy name has such a powerful potency, but there is a quality to such utterance also. So it depends on the quality actually of chanting the holy name. If someone is intoxicated actually by this, by beauty, by high parentage, by wealth, that is very difficult for someone to chant the holy name actually feelingly, with affection. So therefore, actually, we are thinking that, to develop the relationship with Krishna, it's very difficult. That actually we should, to make Krishna love us. Sometimes we are thinking that we have to, qualify ourselves, open hundreds of the temples, make hundreds of devotees, and then Krishna will be pleased with us. Then Krishna will love us. But no, actually, because Krishna by default is loving us. Krishna is loving us by default. But the problem is that we do not love Krishna. So this is the problem. Krishna is already loving us. I don't know if any one of us felt wherever like that sometimes when we have difficulty, because our devotional service, it's like up and down, up and down. Sometimes we are very enthusiastic. We are serving nicely, we are chanting nicely, and we are thinking that we are, above Maya, that Maya cannot touch us. But after some time, we are so much suffering, we are so much in pain. We lost all taste for holy name. We don't have taste for reading Bhagavatam. And sometimes we are thinking that, we are hearing from Prabhupada that Krishna loves every living being, that Krishna loves us. But I am so much in pain. I am so much struggling financially and spiritually. And then we are thinking that how it is possible that Krishna, Prabhupada is saying that Krishna loves us, but we don't feel it. But we don't feel it that Krishna loves us. But actually, the point is that Krishna loves us, because Krishna loves all living beings, actually. Prabhupada said that if we are doing one step to Krishna, Krishna is doing to us 10 steps. But actually, it's not 10 steps. Krishna is doing toward us 10,000 steps. So this is because we don't love ourselves. We don't love only Krishna, but we don't love ourselves, actually. So first we start to, it's difficult. It's difficult. Maybe this is some kind of materialistic example, but we don't how we look, we don't. We would like to have some more things. We are not fully satisfied with what Krishna is saying, because actually this is the problem with us, because actually we have jaundice. We are sick. Therefore we can't actually relish our relationship with Krishna. We don't have taste actually for studying Bhagavatam. We don't have taste for waking up early in the morning and glorify the Lord, because we have jaundice. But actually, the medicine is to do this. Like someone who has jaundice, when you will give him the sugar candy, so it will taste bitter. But what is the medicine? What is the remedies for this? Just to keep on taking and taking and taking and taking. Because actually, to come from Mangalarati, to chant the holy name of the Lord, actually this is nectar. Rupa Goswami is saying that he wants thousands of ears, and thousands of tongues to chant the holy name, because this is such a nectar. Yeah, but because we are actually struggling in this ocean of material existence, we are here from immemorial time, actually. So therefore, it's so difficult for us actually to take up this devotional service sincerely. Yeah. So therefore, actually, we should become this akinchana gochara. We should make actually Krishna the only our possession, and forget actually that we can be happy in this material world, because Krishna, he himself taught in Bhagavad Gita that actually that this material world, it's dukkharayam and ashashvatam. Means dukkharayam means full of suffering, and ashashvatam, temporary place. So this is the nature of this world. So we can't expect actually happiness in this material world. I mean, happiness which comes separated from Krishna. So sometimes actually we are thinking that unless I will become completely pure, that Krishna will never love me. But this is also misconception, because actually it's opposite. Because I am impure, because I am not pure, therefore I am not loving Krishna. But Krishna is already loving us. Krishna is ready. Krishna is ready to play with us, but we are not ready. So Srila Prabhupada said, yeah. So actually, and what is actually the worst thing to, I mean, to, what is the worst actually thing that thinking that God actually doesn't love me? So what is the worst? You know, if your sister don't love you, okay, I will manage. If your mother is not loving you, I mean, somehow I will tolerate. But if God is not loving you, it's very bad, isn't it? So actually, Srila Prabhupada said that actually Krishna consciousness is simple for the simple and complicated to the complicated person. And Srila Prabhupada also said that Krishna consciousness is so simple that sometimes you may miss it. So therefore, actually, bhakti is about feeling. So it's not actually important even what we offer to Krishna, but what actually mentality will offer. Of course, if someone it's enough, I mean, opulent, then of course we should offer to Krishna actually the best things. But the point is that our motivation and our that mentality actually is very important. With what mentality we are actually doing our offering to Krishna. Like there is a story in Mahabharata, I think in Mahabharata, when Krishna wanted to make peace between Kauravas and Pandavas, and Duryodhan, he invited Krishna for a dinner and to stay with him. But Krishna, he said that he prefers rather to stay with Vidura. And you know, Vidura, he was not so opulent like Duryodhan. When he could not offer such a big feast like Duryodhan offered to Krishna. Wanted to offer to Krishna, but for Krishna it was not important actually. This all opulence that what Duryodhan said, because Krishna is not eating actually our offering. Krishna is eating our bhakti. Krishna is eating our feelings. Krishna is eating our attitude actually. Krishna is eating our affection, what we are actually offering to him. So therefore actually bhakti, it's devotional service. It's all about actually about developing love for the Lord, about the feelings actually. So therefore Krishna wants from us actually sincerity. Krishna wants us to be sincere. But what does it mean actually to be sincere? Like once Srila Prabhupada was asked by a devotee how to become sincere. And then Srila Prabhupada actually replied that by being sincere, simple. You can become sincere by being sincere. Then and then he said that there is no process actually to become sincere. Either you are sincere or you are not, and this is within your control only. And of course, there is also some other definition of sincerity, which means that to serve Krishna without any other desire and without any other motivation than to please him, than to please Krishna. And there is also other thing that to be sincere, because we are all conditioned souls. So therefore, sometimes we think in our mind, or more often than sometimes we think in our mind about the things which are not related to Krishna, and it's not for the pleasure of Krishna or are for our sense enjoyment. So many times we have such a thoughts in our mind, to enjoy our senses and so on. So therefore, it is natural for us because actually we are doing this all the time. But in the Mahabharata, Krishna says that if you think something sinful in your mind, but you don't do this, you don't act on this, so this is glorious. We know that in Satya Yuga, even if you have some sinful thoughts, you were punished for this. But in Kali Yuga, even if you have sinful thoughts, you are not punished. But if you don't act on these thoughts, that this is also sincerity. For example, someone is brahmachari or someone is grihasta, but still, some attraction to some other woman is there, isn't it? Is there some attraction? Because this drive actually is very strong. But if, brahmachari or grihasta is meditating on some other woman, grihasta, some other woman than his wife, or brahmachari meditating on women which he shouldn't do, but he is not acting on it. He is not approaching her. He is not speaking to her or starting to trying to have some relationship with her, because he knows that this is not good, that this is sinful. So this is also sincerity, actually. Because you are preaching to yourself, I should not do this. It's not good for my spiritual life. I am conditioned, I have this desire, but it's not good. Therefore, I should not do this. So this is also sincerity. And if we are carrying on like that, that in due course of time, when we advance in spiritual life, so we'll be purified from these desires and from these attachments. Yeah. So therefore, we should try our best. So Prabhupada said, if you try your best, that one day you're gonna make it. So, but then, actually, how do we know if we are doing our best? How do we know? One way you can ask yourself that, for example, if you can ask yourself, if I would be, more and more advanced, would I be doing anything differently than I am doing now? If yes, then means that you don't do your best. But or we can sometimes ask ourselves if this and this devotee who is like our authority or our spiritual master, I mean, how he would do this like that, whatever we are doing in our life. Yeah. So, but this is actually very important to understand that whatever is happening in our life, actually, whatever good or bad, we should understand actually that this is Krishna's mercy, and this is the best actually place from which we can advance actually in our devotional service. Because sometimes when we are coming to Krishna consciousness, I mean, we are still not pure. We have still some remnants, I mean, so we have still some proclivity actually for enjoying our senses. Therefore, can you open, Prabhu, this shloka, this one more time, 10:14:8. You have? And then you remember when you stopped reading? So can you carry on?
Word Susamikshman indicates that a devotee earnestly awaits the mercy of the Supreme Lord, even while suffering the painful effects of previous sinful activities. The Lord Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita that a devotee who fully surrenders unto him is no longer liable to suffer the reactions of his previous karma. However, because in his mind a devotee may still maintain the remnants of his previous sinful mentality, the Lord removes the last vestiges of the enjoying spirit by giving his devotee punishments that may sometimes resemble sinful reactions. The purpose of the entire creation of God is to rectify the living entity's tendency to enjoy without the Lord, and therefore the particular punishment given for a sinful activity is specifically designed to curtail the mentality that produced the activity. Although a devotee has surrendered to the Lord's devotional service until he is completely perfect in Krishna consciousness, he may maintain a slight inclination to enjoy the false happiness of this world. The Lord therefore creates a particular situation to eradicate this remaining enjoying spirit. This unhappiness suffered by a sincere devotee is not technically a karmic creation, it's rather the Lord's special mercy for inducing his devotee to completely let go of the material world and return home back to Godhead.
So this is the point, that even if suffering it's coming actually in our life, that here is described that someone who is surrendering to the Lord, it's not the karmic reaction. Actually, it's Krishna who is giving us actually this suffering as a loving father. It's not that Krishna is not loving us, that he is punishing us. Actually, he is giving us actually this punishment that we will become purified, that we will realize actually that we will become completely frustrated, and and at last surrender to him and realize actually that we can't be happy without Krishna, that we can't be happy without devotional service to the Lord. And we can see even in the life of Prabhupada, that Prabhupada, I mean, that Krishna had taken from him everything. He lost his business, he given up his family. And it is told in Bhagavatam also that if Krishna has special affection to someone, he will just remove everything. That everyone will give him up, and and this person will fully surrender to him. And this is very actually important point, which after so many years actually struck me, that Krishna is loving us. Krishna is loving us by default. That even if we don't feel that Krishna is loving us, but it's not Krishna's fault, it's our fault actually. It's our fault that we don't feel that Krishna is loving us, because I am so struggling in my life, you know. Krishna is ready to play with us, but we are not ready. So therefore, I mean, for Krishna is waiting when we will turn actually to him. Like I remember that when I was small, I used to go to the church, and just one song I remember, you know, before so many years, that we were thinking that God is love. But then we can see that nowadays, you know, people become godless. People are living without God. So means that people are living without love. I mean, they're trying to be happy actually in so many ways. Like I remember when anytime I will go to Poland to visit my parents, sometimes I will visit my friends also, and I will take Bhagavad Gita and I will read to them. But it's so difficult actually for them to take up this Krishna consciousness, to have some attraction to Krishna. That their response is, because I am saying to them actually that I mean that everyone should surrender to Krishna. That this is to God. This is the purpose of our life. But they will say that that this is your path. This is you want to be happy in this way. I want to be happy in this way, like that. And it's difficult for them to understand actually that there is no other way to be happier than to actually surrender to the Lord, because there should be some standard truth, isn't it? Some standard truth, because murderer, if he is thinking, if he is happy by killing people, or thief, he is happy by stealing from others. But actually, sooner or later, everyone has to come on this path of devotional service to the Lord, because there is no other way actually to escape actually from this material world than through devotional service to the Lord. Okay, maybe I will stop here. If someone has some questions or some realizations or would like to share with something. Okay. Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the class. Prabhuji, I want to know, how is Hamsa Avatar? Is fully swan only, or not half swan and half human? How it is? How it was?
I tell you frankly, I don't remember the description of Hamsa. Only we know that he is a swan. But exactly how he looks like, this is actually the description of this Hamsa Avatar. I think is in 11th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Huh? I think he appeared, his description is in 11th canto. But I was always thinking that he is like a swan. But I'm really not sure. Yeah. If someone has some knowledge about this. in DBT paintings, it shows like fully swan only. Fully swan, huh? Yeah. Paintings we have seen. Yes, no means if DBT my Prabhupada approved. Yes.
11th canto.
Yeah. 11th canto. Okay. Grantarat Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhu ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.